Yes, The Witcher 3 is still awesome in 2020, and no, you haven't seen everything. CD Projekt RED really knocked it into the stratosphere with the amount of things packed into this trilogy-capping finale, and I'd wager even if you've banked multiple hundreds of hours across the continent, because of how specific all of the following things are, there's plenty more to check out. If you're thinking about jumping back into the game, something I highly recommend while we wait for Cyberpunk 2077, I'm Scott from WhatCulture.com, and this is The Witcher 3, 10 Best Secret Quests Everyone Missed. Number 10, A Portrait of the Witcher as an Old Man. If you have the Blood and Wine expansion installed, you'll be able to get some reprieve from the monster-infested swamps of Velen and war-torn streets of Novigrad by travelling to the lavish lands of Toussaint. One quest you might have passed by though is A Portrait of the Witcher as an Old Man, which offers arguably some of the game's most light-hearted and humorous moments. After completing the Warble of a Smitten Knight, which you can fail if you don't complete it before tackling the main quest Capture the Castle, head over to the Grand Place Market in Beauclair where an artist will comment on Geralt's appearance, asking him to help with his next work. Accept the artist's request and you'll have the opportunity to accompany him to a scenic spot to pose for a portrait. Fight off some neckers and a griffin, then choose your preferred pose. You can snap up the completed painting for yourself the next day, which also counts towards progress in the quest There Can Only Be One to get a fancy new sword. Not bad for a day's work. Number 9, The Engagement Ring. Although this entry isn't technically a fully fledged quest in the traditional sense, it nevertheless highlights a small detail in the Blood and Wine expansion that most players never realised was there. While exploring the palace gardens during the main quest The Beast of Toussaint, you can encounter a noblewoman standing on a bridge, distraught over the loss of her precious engagement ring. Although at first glance it may seem like some incidental dialogue CD Projekt RED added as set dressing, you can actually recover this woman's missing heirloom, though it won't be easy. If you follow the stream she's standing above, you'll eventually come to the top of a small waterfall where the ring can be found next to a rock. Be warned though, this item doesn't appear on the minimap while using your Witcher senses and is difficult to spot given just how small it is. Look carefully and you'll eventually see the prompt to pick up this lost ring. Now all you have to do is return it to its rightful owner, who will be overjoyed. There's no reward for your efforts, but isn't just doing the right thing reward in itself. Number 8, Burlap is the new stripe. One of the many aspects of The Witcher 3 which has made it one of the finest RPGs in recent years is the sheer extent in which player choice has real consequence on how the narrative unfolds. While this allows for more immersive storytelling, it does mean that it's possible to miss out on whole quests because of one seemingly inconsequential dialogue option. This is the case with Burlap is the New Stripe, one of the endings in Blood and Wine where Geralt gets thrown in jail. To meet the conditions to start this quest, you'll first need to agree to help Cyanna during the quest The Night of Long Fans, which will then start beyond Hill and Dale. Here you need to avoid retrieving the white ribbon and do not talk to the little Flint girl. Staying away will let the Burlap Stripe quest trigger as the story draws to a close. Number 7, A Tome Entombed. If you want to defeat every monster in The Witcher 3, you're gonna need to travel deep into the sewers and tunnels that sprawl under the city of Novigrad to find this hidden quest, A Tome Entombed. Make your way deep underneath and you'll eventually come upon an archaeologist attempting to open a sarcophagus where he believes an ancient elven document is hidden inside. If you chose to give the scholar a hand and open the tomb, the only thing you'll find inside is a very grumpy vampire who doesn't take too kindly to being woken up. Hilariously, the scholar will ask Geralt to open the monster's resting place again just to have another look for the document. This time though, the vampire is not so friendly, leaving you with no choice but to fight him. Number 6, X marks the spot. Most of the best quests in any RPG will be uncovered organically as you make your way through the game, but some require you to go off the beaten path. In the case of X marks the spot, you'll need to do some serious exploring. While there's no specific conditions needed to activate the quest, actually finding it is the hardest part since it begins in a small unmarked hut on Ard Skellige. If you want to get there, you'll need to head southeast of Blandair, where the hut can be found just east of the lake. Entering the hut, you'll come across a skeleton. Examine it to get your hands on a map and a key before fighting a wraith that will appear. Then all you need to do is head to the treasure's location on your map to see just what that skeleton was hiding. Number 5, Rough Neighborhood. After completing the contract, the Oxenfurt Drunk, and ridding the streets of a vampire, you'll unlock the quest Rough Neighborhood, where Geralt will defend a woman named Dora from a gang of mercenaries in Novigrad. Finding this quest, though, is not so straightforward. To play this part of the game, players won't just need to have completed the prerequisite quests, but will need to be in the right place at the right time, just north of Shani's clinic at night. If you're a vigilant player who always keeps an eye out for different quests and enjoys exploring the streets of this expansive city in the first place, then you might have already stumbled across this trigger. If, on the other hand, you'd rather crack on with your job of finding Ciri, as that's kinda important, this is one of the easiest quests to totally miss. Even if you do trigger the beginning of the event, straying too far will then fail the quest and it will be gone for good. Stick around though and you'll be able to chat to Dora and escort her home. Next time you arrive in the courtyard southwest of the Western Gate, you'll be attacked by more mercenaries, but this time Dora will come to your aid. Number 4. On Death's Bed. One of the first secret quests you can find, On Death's Bed can be acquired from the herbalist in White Orchard. However, if you get too swept up in the start of Geralt's story and complete Lilac and Gooseberries instead, you'll leave this small town with Vesemir and have missed your chance. Take some time to look around first and talk to Tomira, the local herbalist. You'll be able to ask about a fatally wounded girl in her care who was attacked by the griffin that's been terrorizing the locals. Doing so will unlock the quest where you'll have the choice to help the girl by brewing a Witcher potion, despite it possibly having drastic side effects, or you can leave her to die a peaceful death. One of the many difficult moral choices you'll have to make in the game, you can head back to Tomira after leaving White Orchard to learn about Lena's fate. No matter what your choice was though, Lena still doesn't get a very happy ending. Number 3. The Soldier Statuette. This secret quest might not be as long or as deep as the others, but it's a fun addition to the game that's worth seeking out. Much like the quest The Nobleman Statuette, this quest involves taking a small jade figurine back to Triss, who will be able to use her sorceress powers to transform the object back into the person it once was. Unlike the Nobleman's artifact that you purchase from a merchant in Gildorf, who you'll encounter during the quest of Dairy and Darkness, this jade figurine can only be acquired during Zoltan's quest A Dangerous Game, and it can be failed if not completed before the Isle of Mists. When searching the private collection of one Caesar Bilzen for a rare Gwent card, another reason why this quest is worth your time, you can find this figurine amongst some of his prized possessions. If you decide to pocket it alongside the card, you can then take it to Triss, who'll once again work her magic, rescuing a Nilfgaardian soldier from this jade prison. Don't worry if Triss has left Novigrad during Now or Never. She will return eventually and you'll still be able to complete the quest. Number 2. A Dog's Life. Sadly, no, it's not the goodest PS2 boy ever, but instead a quest that requires some very specific conditions to unlock. In A Dog's Life's case, you also have a very small window to succeed, or it's gone forever. When exploring near the village of Dirge in Velen, you'll encounter a dog being attacked by a pack of wolves. No, this isn't a random event, it's the start of a quest, and it's up to you to act fast enough to save the dog. Manage to stop the dog from becoming lunch for the wolves, and Geralt will notice that a key has been sewn into the dog's collar. Your new canine companion will then want you to follow them all the way back to what is presumably their house. Defeat a group of bandits outside, making sure the dog doesn't die in the process, and you'll be able to investigate the house to find what the key unlocks. However, if you're too slow and let the dog die, you monster, or wander too far away while following, you'll fail the quest. Unfortunately, the dog is gone for good when you leave the home, ending one of the best human-dog partnerships since Dead to Rights. And number 1, Flesh for Sale. The world of The Witcher 3 is yours to explore as you see fit. However, because quests and enemies are gated with levels as warnings, chances are if you see something with a much higher number, like being able to go to Skellige way early on, you'll likely wait until it feels far safer to do so. However, if you're bold and travel to the islands prematurely, you'll be able to complete the quest Flesh for Sale, which can be triggered by approaching Trondheim on Faroe Island. Depending on how you do this, the quest will play out very differently. You'll either be forced into a fight with the pirates controlling the area, or you'll be able to play along if they mistake you for a slave trader. No matter which path you take, it will lead to rescuing those that the pirates were getting ready to sell to the slavers. Just make sure you do this before finishing following the thread, or you'll have missed your chance. And those are 10 super secret quests that make The Witcher 3 even better. Let me know your favorites down in the comments below, and please check out the WhatCulture Gaming Podcast on Tuesday and Friday. For now, I've been Scott from WhatCulture.com, and I'll catch you soon.